Here we go. Monday, April 24th here in southern Ontario, Canada. This is really bad news. Really bad. Bill C-11. That's the one where the Trudeau regime takes over social media, censors social media content here in Canada. It's in its final reading in the Senate this week and will return to Parliament next week. Speculation on Parliament Hill runs that, as it's in its final reading in the Senate, again, the top-heavy Liberal Senate will call time allocation on the final arguments of this bill. What that means is they say, well, we got 20 hours or 12 hours or whatever to debate this. Then there's no more debate. Doesn't matter if everybody hasn't been heard and the debates haven't been settled. Time allocation, the time's up, we vote on it. Again, realize the Senate is top heavy with Liberals. It'll pass, it returns to Parliament, where the Supply and Confidence coalition government of the regime of Trudeau and the NDP, Jagmeet Singh, will pass it, of course. I mean, the Supply and Confidence Agreement, in case you're new to all this here in Canada, means we don't have a parliamentary democracy. We truly do have a dictatorship. It can't be called anything but that. So anyways, the bill will pass. Now, the machinery is already in place for this to go through. It's not like, oh, okay, the bill passed. Now we set up the machinery, I'll call it, of the implementation of the censorship. That structure is already in place. No one denies it. And no one can argue it. It is fact. So this will happen like overnight. It won't take weeks or even months to implement this censorship. It'll pass at 10 in the morning next Monday, let's say, for argument's sake. And by noon, I'll be gone. So will everybody else. Because if you read the bill, I have, Ezra Levant from Rebel News has, I'm not even sure the opposition members in Parliament have read it. They keep talking about how this new censorship bill will push down such content as the government doesn't like. It'll push them down into the algorithms. It's worse than that. I've read the bill. Someone like me, a channel like this, will be considered news and will have to apply for a license. Do you think they're going to give me one? No, they're not. And even if they did somehow give me one, each video would have to be approved by the machinery of Trudeau's censorship regime. Think any of my videos are going to pass? They don't think so. Or anybody else's channel. All that will be left, and only for the briefest of times, will be the independent media. True North, Rebel News, etc. They'll be around for a little while till Bill C-18 passes, where they'll be considered not independent media, bumped down to status such as my own, and they'll be gone. And it looks like it's coming next week, unless something unforeseen happens. The conservative opposition parties are asking everyone to email and text and phone and send letters to the Senate, to the senators in the Senate. It's in vain. The Senate's just, those people should have been put out to pasture. It's just an expensive retirement home. And again, it's Liberal top heavy. I'm not a happy camper. Let me know what you think.